Good morning. Welcome to Morning Moments. I am so glad that you joined us again this morning. We have our guests today from Mississippi, Shay and Michi guests. They are recording artists, songwriters, singers, and what a blessing to have them on today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your ministry and your gifts of music.
Well, thank you, Brother Andy, for having us. This is great. We do a podcast ourselves, and it's good to be the guest of someone else doing one.
Absolutely.
So, we didn't have to go through the whole motions of writing this thing out. You had done all that for us. But
good.
My name is Shay, and this is
Michi.
And we're singer-songwriters. We do Christian, country, gospel. We've done it all from one end of the spectrum of genre music to the other. But we're mostly Christian, country, Southern, traditional, whatever the Lord lays on our heart, that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
When I was talking with you, it's you do a lot of original songs, a lot of songwriting, and it sounds like the Lord's really speaking his heart through your songs that he shares with you, isn't he?
That's correct. Growing up around Southern gospel music, some of my heroes were Kenny Henson, Ronnie Henson, some great writers, Squire Parsons, great writers, Rusty Goodman, all those folks, the way they wrote their songs captivated you into the story and the message of what they were writing. And the first time I wrote a song that was recorded, I was 14 years old. And a gentleman had asked me to be a part of his of a recording, and I was able to go on and sit down in the studio and record that song. I don't think it was very good, but it was a 14-year-old.
It was good too.
It was a message, but I always stuck to one thing, and it had to be biblical. I don't tend to write song, even if I write a love song with a country feel to, even for a secular type, it's going to have a biblical message to it. And I can't get away from it. Because I just believe that, the word of God is what does the work in our life.
Yes.
And if we can if people could just ever just hear it for what it is and accept it for what it really is, it does the changing, not us. There's nothing I could do to change anybody, but the word of God can change us all. And so that's kind of where I've always tried to tend to write. And of course, Michi is one of the best singers I've ever met in my life. So it is easy.
You're just saying that because I'm your wife.
Well, it don't hurt.
I'm not stupid. Come on, right?
Yeah. But yeah, she
writes and I sing.
But she's a great sounding board. I can bring something to her, and I can give her the lyrics and then give her a melody, and she'll sing through it. But if it don't work, it don't work. Yeah. And it's easy for me to get it because I'm hearing it, I'm feeling it. But to have someone outside that try to interpret it, where did I miss it? And I'll go back to pray about it, or I'll go back and rehash it, replay it. I may sing it 50, 100 times before I ever even take it to her and let her hear it. But it makes the song come to life when husband and wife can come together. And we were talking before we started the interview. The songs are like our babies. I did an interview with a newspaper about 10 years ago about a song that I had written for the Nashville Songwriters Festival, and an inspirational music came in second place. And in the newspaper article, I said that was my exact words, that these songs are like my children, and I nourish them. I try to take care of them. I don't just let anybody sing them. I'm not one of those songwriters that writes 500 songs and just pitches them to everybody that sings. I'm very selective, and if I don't hear the sincerity, or if I don't think your ministry is as sincere as my, to take care of my children, and I'm not gonna let you sing my songs. So there's not a lot of people out there singing my songs because I keep them for myself.
We'll take care of them.
When you hear a message from God and you put it in a lyrics, sometimes, especially when it's the word of God that you're putting that in there, it's that one line or one verse that you'll never know how much that one line or one verse means to somebody in the very worst times of their life as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Back in 2013 with the quartet that we sing with, Southern Image Quartet, we released a song called I'll Go Back to the Old Rugged Cross, which is a song I wrote back in the 90s. My cousin, she was 6 months old and that was diagnosed with glaucoma. And in the process of going to Le Bonheur in Memphis and having a surgery that was, the family was told she could probably lose her eyesight, to try to correct the surgery to correct her eyesight. Our family didn't have anything else. We didn't know any better to do but pray. So we met on Wednesday night and prayed. I went home and sat down at the piano and I was thinking about the old hymn song, "On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross." And in the middle of singing that old hymn, I began to just visualize the cross. I could see the thunderstorm happening. I could see the blood running down the cross. But when I visualized looking up, I didn't see Jesus hanging there anymore.
Yeah.
And he spoke to me and he said, "It's because I've already done it. I've already taken care of it." And I sent message to my aunt and uncle, and told them that, and we were praying. And that Thursday when they went to do the surgery, the surgeon even came in praising the Lord and said, "The great physician got to her before I did." And she didn't have to have the surgery. So
it's amazing how that one line, and often in the midst of the trial or the suffering that the songwriter is going through, in the midst of the worst times in their life, is when some of the best words come out that later, years later, touches somebody's heart from the radio or a CD or at a concert. I remember being in a praise and worship area in Promise Keepers years and years ago, and one line, "What was lost in battle will be restored and more." I'll never forget that one line. Was just exactly what I needed for that moment in my life. And that songwriter will never know what happened in that one moment for me when it was a defining moment in my Christian walk and restoration that took place. And so when you down below the Facebook comments right now, down below, I want you to look at their website, look at their, we're going to put your podcast down. We're going to even put some of those YouTube recordings that you have. We'll put them right on the bottom so they can just click onto it and listen to it. So when you listen to that, watch for where they're going to be at in concert, watch for their new albums that's coming out, their new songs, and follow them, support them. But more important than any of that, when you see their name, pray for them.
Exactly.
That God would continue
Amen.
to
Oh,
not
how-
only blend their harmony in the songs they sing, but speak to Shay's heart in the words he's writing, that it'll be generational. Those words will last for a long time to come because they're God's words. I want you to pray for my brother and sister as they continue with their ministry. It has been an absolute blessing to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And I hope that we stay connected now that we know each other, and maybe we can do something again in the future.
Oh, it'd be great. That'd be
Amen.
great.
God bless you. And thank you all for joining us for Morning Moments.